That's right. We're back with another episode of the DBL Exclusive. We had a heater with Bo. We might have some other interviews coming out later than Bo, but right now I'm here with the man with a plan, the man who's making all the moves, making everything swirl. It's Mr. Johnny Trend, one of the OGs of the DBL. Johnny, how are we doing on this night of a lot of action going on, actually?
Pretty good, pretty excited. Got a lot of things looking forward to.
We're all looking forward for week one. But just to start us off, what are your thoughts on the realignment? Because as we all know, you are one of the OGs. We have that realigning of the divisions, and I've talked to Evan, I've talked to Bo, both of the guys who are in your division on the dean's list. What are your thoughts on this realignment? Are you happy with who's in your division? Would you like to have seen it realigned in a different way?
I think it's great, honestly. The realignment was something that was a bit of a surprise. I didn't even know it was going to happen at first, but it gives us an opportunity to play different people more often, and then be a little more competitive when it comes to the people in your divisions. I got a little worse end. I got the reigning champ in my division. And I got two people in my division who are really smart and know who they like, what they want, and it's gonna be tough, but gotta get through it.
Also, like to note that in his division, they are the only division in the DBL right now who has all made a trade at some point in this preseason. Bo has made a trade, I believe, with Evan. Evan has made a trade with Kyle with the draft picks and with Bo and Johnny. You just made a trade today on the 28th with Mr. Jagger Clayton, who is the owner of the Jim Irsay Pill team. I don't remember what the fuck his team name is. But
Yep.
This is how the trade went. So you traded Jalen Waddle, James Conner, and Cortland Sutton to him for Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, and Brandon Ayuk. So just kind of talk me through that trade. What value do you think you see with all these players with the movement and everything?
I had Jalen Waddle last year, and he was really solid for me. He really has that wide receiver one upside, but there were a couple of games last year that I was just like a little worried. He has a tendency to get injured sometimes. He's a smaller receiver, and who knows how well Tua is going to play this year. Maybe he'll get another concussion, and they won't have a good QB to be in that role. So I decided to do something different and get someone that I also had last year. Saquon. I was running a little low in the running back department, so I had to grab somebody who I knew was consistent and had first round value. And then everyone else is just a little on top of the cake. And we'll see how everyone plays together, and we'll see once week one hits. Who knows? Maybe I'll make another trade.
Johnny's sitting pretty high up there right now from face value heading into week one with Jalen Hurts at his QB1 spot, Kenneth Walker and Saquon in his running back lineup. Then he's got D-Hop and Sketty Teddy in his wide receivers with Travis Kelce, Brandon Ayuk, and Young Clay Koo. And it was interesting you go for Zeke because Zeke wasn't rostered after the draft. You might have found your ace in the hole, but what are your thoughts on Zeke? Because he went to the Patriots. Everybody was on the Ramondre Stevenson train. And now with Zeke there, what are your aspirations for Ezekiel Elliott?
Ramondre, I think is a clear RB1 in New England. But, I think Zeke might have a Jamal Williams here, that goal line back who's going to get all the touchdowns when they're in the red zone. And hopefully that's the case because, I know he's not going to get, a lot of carries and a lot of touches. Ramondre is going to have that, but if you could score those touchdowns, that'll give him a lot of value for my team.
Yeah, and that's going to be needed because you might notice the tension between me and Johnny because week one, you've got my team. I'm picking your wedges going up against his team, my Young Clay Koo, or you could say it the other way, whichever you prefer. But just kind of going into week one, Johnny, what scares you the most about your opponent going into week one?
Oh my God, where do I begin? We were talking a little before this, but one thing that I was really scared about is your running back duo. Obviously, you have Travis Etienne, who may have an upside to be a top five running back. He was really good last season, and a little scared of him. And then obviously you have Najee, who didn't really do that well last season, but I'm pretty scared with him this season. As new quarterback, everything's a little new, so those two are really scary to me. And then obviously you have your first round pick in Jamar Chase. I'm a little scared of that as well. But hopefully my team pulls through.
It's going to be an exciting week one here with this matchup. Johnny, before we go, any last thoughts you have for anybody watching, especially for the other guys in the DBL who will most likely be watching this video?
This is a season that I'm gonna try to turn things around. I didn't really do a lot of research these past few years, and I don't even know a lot about football 2 years ago. But hopefully this is a season where things change and I can hold a ring up.
And I don't want that to happen. I want to hold the ring up, obviously, but we appreciate your time. We appreciate how much effort you put in and how much knowledge you want to learn when it comes to fantasy football. And we will see you week one against my team. I'm picking your wedgies. And thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you later. I am now joined by a former champion. It's not Mr. Tingus Pingus, I'll tell you that much. It is the first ever DBL champion. It is JT Adams. JT, how are we doing? We're rocking the Jordan Love season jersey already with the branding. How are we doing?
Yes, sir. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Nobody ever asks the hosts how they're doing, so always nice to be included with that. But let's just jump right into it here, right? So, as I said, you are the first ever DBL champion. Last year's nothing really ever went the way you planned it to go. So how does somebody like you, a former champion, bounce back from some might consider a down season going into this season?
Well, it starts with not drafting Najee Harris. Now, I know you're a big Steelers fan, and I took Najee Harris with my first pick last year, thinking he was going to have a breakout, standout year. And he shit the bed. I mean, you saw it, I saw it, we all saw it. He shit the bed. So this year, I focused on, what draft strategy am I going to do? And I probably did 100, no. 200, no. Maybe 300 mock drafts to ensure success. And all of those mock drafts, I was taking a wide receiver with the first rounder and a running back with the second rounder. And I was only taking number ones. I wanted wide receiver ones and running back ones.
I'm not okay with the Nodge slander over here, because I did pick him up and I do have high hopes for Nodge to get it going for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. But you did mention Bijan Robinson, who everybody on their boards had first round pick, like fifth overall, sixth overall pick. You obviously had him fall to you with the 15th overall pick. Why do you think everybody was so high on this rookie, considering nobody has really seen him play other than when he was at Texas?
Well, if you look what the Falcons did last year, they were number one in running throughout the whole season. That is mainly because of Artie Smith, mainly because of their offensive linemen. He has a great plan. Tyler Algier had 1,000 yards. Cordero Patterson, who's 50 years old, had almost 1,000 yards, if not. Coming out of Texas, he was an absolute stud. I saw one of those charts, and everyone else is within the chart. And then you look, he's clear top right. I just don't know how it fell to me. I mean, I have 2 first rounders. No one else does.
You can definitely make that argument. Jumping into the next question here, we've all talked about how the new look of the DBL with the 4 divisions. You are in the high motor division with the commissioner Kyle Heller and Jaden, who is also in the Indy area. Makes sense he's in that high motor division. JT, you always have a high motor yourself. It also makes sense why you're in there. Has there been any trash talk within your guys' division, or has everybody been pretty nice to each other?
Us 3 being high motor guys, we don't need to talk. We're all at work. We're all at the pool. We're all doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're not loud mouthing each other. We're not talking crap. We're just a bunch of respectful guys.
Hey, and that's all you can ask for.
Exactly.
That's all you can ask for in a division like that.
Exactly.
And so now we're going to get into week 1, and that is you and the other champion, Tingus Pingus Evan Kidda, the marquee matchup of the week. What are your thoughts regarding the champion versus champion matchup? Week 1, right out of the gate.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried one bit. You look at the projections, and I know projections don't mean anything. I'm projected 122 points. I don't even know if he's projected 100. You know, right now it says 109, but is Jonathan Taylor going to play? Probably not. I just don't know. You're looking at his team, you look at my team. It's a boy amongst men.
Big statement there. Just to round out the rest of his team, Daniel Jones at the quarterback, Aaron Jones, Bijan Robinson, CD Lamb, Amari Cooper, Darren Waller, Christian Kirk, and then on the bench, J.K. Dobbins. I actually do kind of like that pick. He's a little slow, but he's going to rack up touchdowns once they get into the 5. And then Adam Thielen, was he giving you a feeling on the Thielen there, JT?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Adam Thielen is the clear-cut number 1 there in Carolina. Bryce Young, you saw him in the last preseason game, threw a touchdown to Adam Thielen. He might throw 17 touchdowns to Adam Thielen this year. You never know. Now, will he start in my team? He might. He might take over Christian Kirk if Calvin Ridley's set to have a good week, but I feel great about that Thielen pick.
Well, I would say you stole him very, very late in the draft. But JT, we always appreciate your time taking these exclusive interviews. Any last thoughts before we sign off?
Just go Pack Go, baby. Jordan Love season. You already
says
know.
Go Pack Go. It doesn't even have Jordan Love on his team. All right. Well, JT, we always appreciate your time. Be sure to subscribe down below for all of you that haven't yet. And we'll see you in the next episode of the DBL Exclusive. I'm your host, Nolan Baban. That's JT Adams. Big thanks again for Johnny for taking some time with us. And we'll see you in the next one, possibly, or we'll see you for week 1.
Yes, sir.